Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Subriel Matias. Viva Puerto Rico. Man, last night wasn't his night, was it? I was watching that fight. I watched it this morning. I didn't watch it last night. Last night I was live for 5 hours. But while I was watching the fight, I was listening to the commentators. And let me tell you something. The commentators, I wanted Matias to win. But we're not going to come out here and take it to the stupid. Just because we want somebody to win and watch the fight and start calling the fight incorrectly and being unfair. And they were calling that fight like Dalton Smith wasn't landing, heavy ass shots, some serious artillery on Subriel Matias. Every round, Dalton Smith was landing some hard-ass shots. Even those shots that Matias was catching, like on his gloves, those shots were hard. So I'm watching the fight. I was jogging while I was watching it this morning, I ran for 50 minutes. And I just saw that someone posted the fight on Twitter. So I played it, I'm running, and I'm watching the fight. Which isn't smart, but took my time, watched the whole fight. And I'm going to tell you, man, when I watch Subriel, I'm like, man, you know who he was reminding me of? A guy who just wanted to take shots and come forward. I mean, he really looked like a Joe Joyce. He really looked like a Ricardo Mayorga in a sense. Of course, he has more skill, but what I mean is just come forward, high guard, and taking shots. A lot of those shots were getting in there. And I was like, damn. And you could tell Matias got power. He's got an engine. But what he doesn't seem to have anymore that he's always had and has been his secret weapon in fights is his chin, then his stamina. The stamina was still there, but the chin's not there. So what was once his secret weapon has become his Achilles heel. Now, I'm not trying to take away from Dalton Smith. Dalton Smith can crack. He can fight. I just didn't think he'd be able to stand up to Subriel Matias, especially out there in New York. All them Puerto Ricans over there. Viva Puerto Rico, you know what I'm saying? I'm Puerto Rican, like, most people, depending on where they're from, they love their country's flag. Now, I can tell you I'm born in America, was in the military for 25 years. I've seen how people are about the American flag. My family's from Trinidad and Tobago. And I see how West Trinidadians are about the flag. Everybody's ridiculous. But all my friends, whether they're from Jamaica, from Japan, China, Philippines, Thailand, Russia, Germany, wherever I had friends who were either born in a country where they were born in another country or their parents were from there, right? The most ridiculous group of people, when it comes to their flag, is goddamn Puerto Ricans. Oh my God. Them Puerto Ricans, boy. I mean, everybody from other countries, they all have everything with a flag on it. Cup holder, a goddamn headrest, a flag to put in your car, a towel, a bathing suit, everything. But Puerto Ricans are the most ridiculous. Most ridiculous. Them people, no matter where you go. I was in Saudi Arabia, chilling on a deployment. We riding in a convoy. And there was a guy, one of the guys was driving from Puerto Rico. Motherfucker gets in the goddamn vehicle. He's driving. We in there chilling. Reaches into his goddamn pocket, pulls out a damn little small Puerto Rico flag. And the one that you hang in the car. Hangs it up in the window of the Humvee and we're driving. This asshole got a Puerto Rico flag up there. Now we're in the car laughing. But then he ended up having to take it down because you can make yourself a target. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was out there in Saudi Arabia, a deployed location. Motherfucker had the goddamn Puerto Rican flag hanging up in the goddamn thing, but he had to take it down. But it just, they're the most ridiculous. But with that being said, Subriel Matias, I just felt the Puerto Ricans there in New York would have been more than enough to motivate him and will him to a victory. But who would have thought he would have got hit with the goddamn kitchen sink last night? You know what I'm saying? But then he went down. And I'm gonna tell you, you could see round after round that Dalton Smith, he was hitting the man with some. I was like, damn. Matias was taking them shots. Matias was coming back. But if you ask me, Dalton Smith was landing the harder shots. You know what I'm saying? He was hitting them with some thunder. And then he was fighting a kind of fight to where he was tying up Matias. And this is what I don't understand. You know, Matias, he almost allows the clinch. Because it's like he fights in a way where if you clinch him, he may hit you on the side of the head, the back of the head. The referee may say break and he'll hit you on the break. He may do some shit, but I don't know if he feels it's an opportunity for him to rest as well if there's a clinch, because I don't think he should have allowed so much clinching. I mean, it reminded me of what Liam Paro did to him when they fought. A lot of clinching and kind of just smothering Matias. Anyway, when Dalton Smith finally got through with that shot, he hurt Matias. Then he hit him again, the head snap back. Then he hit him and put him down. I watched that count. And Matias, he no kidding, he's Puerto Rican. But Dalton Smith made the Puerto Rican dance salsa up in that ring. His legs were all like this, and feet were like that. I said, God damn it, he got the suavemente going on. Oh, hold on a second. But when he got up, I was thinking to myself, you know, Subriel is going to be able to shake it off and continue. But I do feel the referee, I think he stopped it too soon. Now, do I think Matias was going to get knocked out? Yes. But I think when you're dealing with a guy like that, and he's out there, you get the Puerto Rican contingent in the crowd, you let him go out in the shield. Let him go out in the shield. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not the referee. The referee's got to protect the fighters. But would Dalton Smith have came in and done even more damage? Probably. I got to be fair. Probably. But at the same time, you know, you just never know what's going to happen. But what I'll tell you is, Dalton Smith, you know what I liked about the way he won the fight? When he hit him and hurt him the first time, he didn't go crazy. He stayed calm. Then he came back and hit him with another big shot. You know, so he showed the ability to stay cool and composed. Where most people would have probably jumped all over their opponent and get him hurt like that. Then you run the risk of running into some shit. So you could tell Dalton Smith, they really trained, they had a good game plan, and they were more than ready for the Puerto Rican. But anyway, as far as what comes next, it sounds like he's going to be Alberto Puello. Alberto Puello is a much different style. It's going to be an interesting fight. So we just got to wait and see how all that plays out. But good job to Dalton Smith. I was trying to pull up the CompuBox stats to share it with y'all, but I couldn't find them out there, man. And normally when I watch the fight, I write that stuff down, but I didn't watch it last night. I watched it this morning while I was jogging. But this is what happened here to the Puerto Rican. Got touched up, you know what I'm saying? Hard shot. And he there, man, you know, chasing that canvas. Never a good place to be. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, that's never a good place to be, man. You don't want to be in that position. There. Let me just fix this here real quick. Well, good to go. All right. Here's the other one. He's going down. And now he is down. So they got to him, man. They got to him. Anyway, we'll see what's next for Dalton Smith. To be honest with you, I don't know. Sounds like it's Puello. Puello's a difficult fight. A lot of people saying things about Dalton Smith and Eddie Hearn and starting to say, how come these UK fighters are fighting like this or looking this way and what's really going on? I'll say this, give the people credit. I'm not going to come out here and start saying, oh, well, Dalton Smith may have been on something. That's wrong for people to say that. As far as Subriel and Matias, people out here, I think they're wrong to say the Cheat got what he deserved. I don't think that's fair to say, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say is the guy who looked like down the stretch that he was going to win that fight was Dalton Smith. He was just landing the harder shots. You know what I mean? And those commentators were so biased towards Subriel, and I wanted him to win, but even I was like, yo, what fight are they watching? They weren't giving Dalton Smith much credit. He ended up was doing the kind of damage where they had to start mentioning or acknowledging what he was doing in the ring, but they still weren't giving him the credit he deserves, which I think is a foul. If you're going to be out here talking boxing, give these fighters the credit they deserve. Anyway, Matias did come and say, hey, look, it's not over for me. I'm still here. Thanks to everybody, the haters. I am going to be back. It wasn't his night. Let me see. These people be coming out here with these bullshit ass accounts. But he said he'll be back. It's not over. And that's what you want, man. It's cool to lose a fight. If you lose, you lose. You know what I mean? And not everybody can be a Floyd Mayweather. Not everybody can be a Floyd Mayweather. Like, look right here. Where is this damn thing at? See, now they're saying that it's going to be Puello against Dalton Smith next. And I'm telling you right now, that's a damn good fight. Who wins? Look, I don't know, man. But one thing for sure, you can't go against Dalton Smith anymore. You got to give that man credit. He can get busy. Anyway, man, let me get the hell up out of here. I'll try to see what the hell that Subriel Matias, that post that he put out there. But it doesn't matter. He got binged. And it was pretty damn brutal. All right? Anyway, y'all keep cool. We'll see what's next. I'm still rooting for Subriel. I like him, man. Just like I still root for Brian Norman Jr. You know what I mean? If I like you as a fighter, I like you as a fighter. I ain't jumping ship because you lose. That's what happened. That's what we like about boxing. Win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents, all right? In the breeze.